This is Raven coming at you with the Wrath of the Waste set for the Mastery Set dungeon. Now this is one of the more difficult dungeons to get completed, but it can be done. But before we look at the build, let's go look at the location of the set dungeon. You got to go to Act 5. I'm already in Act 5. I'll act like I'm not. You got to go to Pandemonium Fortress, level 1. Let's run up here. It's easy to get to. This one is not bad. One of the easier set dungeons to find. And it'll appear right here. Let me show you the map. Just come in right here, go around, it's right up the stairs. Pretty easy to get to. Dungeon of Wrath of the Waste. Primary objectives. Rend 10 different enemies at once, 5 times. Do not take any physical damage for the duration of the dungeon. That's a little difficult. You get hit one time, you fail the dungeon. Of course we want to mastery. I want to complete both objectives. Let's go take a look at this build. Let's go back to town. There's a couple different ways you can build this for the set dungeon. You can use a couple different things. Let's take a look at the cube. Of course I got Ambo's Pride. Illusionary Boots. You may move unhindered through enemies. This is important in this dungeon. It's really helpful. Ring of Royal Grandeur, because I'm wearing a crown with a diamond for more cooldown. I have diamonds in all my set for resistance. I am wearing the belt, the chain. Using Warcry, increase your movement speed. For my wrist, I got Arms Guard. Every time you destroy a wreckable object, you gain a short burst of speed. This really helps in the dungeon. And then I got the Hellfire Amulet, Volcatos. And for the gem, the Molten Gizzard. Now you could use a different gem if you wanted. You could use Ban of the Powerful, that'd work just fine. But this is what I'm using. And the Hellfire Amulet helps a lot. Where I can add a different skill. We'll take a look at it here in a second. But this really helps if you can get the Hellfire Amulet and get the Volcatos passive on it, where you can use another passive. Let's take a look at the rings. You want the Ban of the Might. After casting Furious Charge, Ground Stop, or Leap, takes 65% reduced damage. And for the gem, I got Swiftness for a little bit more cooldown, a little bit more speed. I got Tagu for the Zodiac. Reduce remaining cooldown of one of your skills. You could wear Ring of Royal Grandeur, put this in a cube, that's up to you. Or you could actually wear Captain Chrisms for more cooldown. That would work just fine too on your gear. But this is the way I have it set up. It works fine. Now for your damage, I got a little over 1,000,000, which works really good. And for cooldown, I do have 62% cooldown. But I have cooldown on my shoulders, cooldown on my gloves. I have cooldown, of course, with the Zodiac. And then I have cooldown on my swords. And on my amulet. And then of course a diamond and a helm for more cooldown. So that gives me a lot of cooldown. I can keep up Warcry, Wrath of the Berserker, Ground Stomp, Sprint. That's really important to get through this dungeon as fast as you possibly can without getting hit. Because if you get hit one time, you fail it. Let's take a look at the skills. For Whirlwind, I got Hurricane. Pull distant enemies towards you while whirlwinding. Rend. Revenge. Increase range of rend. Want to pronounce it wrong. Wrath of the Berserker. The Giant. Take reduced damage while Wrath of the Berserker is activated. War Cry. Impunity. Increase your resistance to all damage types. Ground Stomp. Wrecking Smash. Increase the area of effect of Ground Stomp and pull enemies towards you. You gotta have this to group your enemies up to get the objective done for this dungeon. And this is really important. Sprint. Marathon. Increase the movement boost from sprint, where you can move around in this dungeon really quick and get through here.
Interesting for me to see all of these.
Let's look at the passive. I got Berserker, Rage, Ruthless, Nerves of Steel, Juggernaut. You could change that one if you wish. You could put actually this one here. Fury is used to fuel your most powerful attacks. Increase all fury generation by 10%. Increase maximum fury by 20. That's up to you. I'm using it because I have the Hellfire Amulet with Bow Kathos, extra passive skill on it. But let's take a look at this map for the set dungeon, and then we'll jump in there and do our mastery run. Alright, let's take a look at this map. It's actually a pretty good sized map, but you'll start right here. Is what I do is I'll come in, of course wipe this area out, I'll go back and forth here, and then I'll run in here. I'll sprint in here. This big area right here, if you can get 2 to 3 out of your 5 objectives done, you've got it made in the dungeon. Because if you got a bunch of monsters here, I have got 3 right here, and last time I got 2 because there was a lot of monsters, and that's really helpful because that's right at the beginning of the game. And then I'll come back down in here, I'll make sure nothing's here, and I'll come all the way up here, and then I'll wrap back around, and I'll do the same over here before I have to go into these axes. Because if you get even scraped by them, you even touch them, you fail the dungeon. And if you get hit by any monster, you automatically fail the dungeon. I don't like going through here because a lot of times you can get 5, you can get all your objectives done right here, especially if you got a lot of monsters. And then if you get hit by one of these axes, you fail the dungeon when you almost had it completed. But just take your time through here, and I'll come over here and I'll go through here. I'll wipe all this out, come over here and wipe all this out, go back, come up. You'll have plenty of time. You'll figure out your own way because it's kind of awkward map. And then I'll come back and go through here and go through these axes. Let's take a look at the axes. They're really a pain. And what you can do when you go through it, like say if you got monsters here, you can whirlwind back and forth, but make sure you stay in the middle. Because if you touch them, you automatically fail it. But I don't care to go through this, but just take your time like this, and you're better off. But a lot of times you'll have monsters, they'll be trying to get you, and just whirlwind back and forth, and you'll pull them in. And just stay in the middle of it though, because if you get hit by it, it's over with. Well, I definitely wanted to come in and bring that to you and show you the map before we do our mastery. Alright, let's go in here and see if we can do our mastery. Let's jump in here. Now I usually come through here the first part, wipe this little part out, then I'll run over here. I want to see if there's a whole bunch of monsters down here, which there is. Group them up, because if you can get 2 or 3 right here, you're in good shape.
Not ready yet.
Because you only got so many monsters.
Need more time.
Kill them all. At the end of it, you you ain't gonna have enough monsters to get your objective done. Get these out of the way, because that's definitely not enough.
Still recharging. Not ready yet. Need more time.
Wipe this whole side out.
Not ready yet.
Ooh, there's a couple of them.
You wilt against my blow. Still recharging.
Ooh, almost 10. Darn it. I got 4. I need 1 more. Then I can start cleaning these monsters up.
Not ready yet.
Ooh. Nice. Now we got to be real careful. Right here, you just want to go back and forth. That'll pull these monsters in. You don't have to worry about these axes too much. I definitely don't like them. It's better to take your time through here. Still got 2 minutes.
Still recharging.
World went all the way through here.
Need more time. Your flesh.
There's one that hides in this wall. And if you forget about him, he'll jump out and get you.
Still recharging.
Make sure I got them all. The part I hate.
Need more time.
Still got a minute. All the way back around.
Not ready yet.
I hate these stinking axes.
Still recharging. Your flesh is weak.
I want to come right here too.
Not ready yet.
Got 19 seconds. I got one stinking monster. There he is. There it is. We got it. The mastery. That's how to do it. But this thing, these axes, and if you get hit one time, you fail the dungeon. It's crazy, and I don't like the axes because you can get all your objectives done and have 5 of them, and you barely get touched by one of them, you fail the dungeon. This is one of the harder dungeons actually to do. But we did get it done. We got the mastery. Let's take a look at the map. Get in here and take a look at this. Now this is where you come in right here. All I do is I go like this, back and forth, and I'll come here and do the same. But I'll run over here because it's a big area. This is where all the monsters are. If you can get, say, 2 to 3 out of your 5 objectives done right here, you got it made. And I'll wipe all this out, and I'll come back in here, make sure I don't have anything right here, and I'll run up, wipe all this out. I won't go in there yet, and I'll come back, and then I'll come in here, clean all this, and then I'll go down in these where these axes are and grab all of this and come in through here and grab all this. I try to save these axes for the last part. I don't like going through there, but you have to. You got no way out of it. And then a lot of times you'll have your last 5 monsters right in here. But it's not too bad. It's one of the more difficult ones, because if you get hit one time, you fail the dungeon. If one of the axes just barely touch you, you fail it. But this is an excellent build to complete your mastery for the Wrath of the Waste set. Let's get back to town. We'll take a look at our achievement awards. We're doing all the Barbarian set dungeons. Let's take a look at this. Going to the set dungeons. Of course, for the mastery, you get the wings of the mastery. I have one more to go. Just one set dungeon. And that's one of them in the Demon Hunter. I will bring that to you. But let's go to a general here. Barbarian. And okay, we got them all done. And you'll get pendants, which is actually pretty nice. I actually got one on. It shows you right here. Wear your brutal heritage proudly. Then of course you get your other ones. That's for a wizard. There's the Barbarian. But I do like this one. Let's take a better look at it. Well, you hardly can see it, it's so tall. But it is pretty nice. See if I can zoom in. Yep. Show it there. There it is. Which is actually nice. I do like it. It looks good on a barb. But if you enjoyed the gameplay, and if this was helpful, give me a thumbs up. This is Raven. This is Raven out.